So who edits these for you? You edit them or he edits them?
That's my dude.
Okay, nice. So I'm gonna do a thing where we're gonna black and white this episode. Is that okay with you?
Can't buckle up yet.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
Well, I will. I'll rebuckle up.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna start after I pick up.
That's correct,
stuff, right?
actually.
Yeah. I'm not trying to fucking die up in here.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters, and hello and welcome to another episode of Buckle Up. And man, oh man, you know, there is no proper introduction for this, but it's somehow surreal. I've known this brother since 2007, and I can simply say that he's one of the reasons why I am what I am today. So it's that big. Him, Loki, Shadia, and Omar Effendim shaped who I am, really. I cannot believe that he's actually on my right now. Seriously.
What are you talking about? I've been in here before.
It's that big deal. Not on Buckle Up. Big deal for me, huge deal. What an incredible guy, incredible human being, a father, an artist, a professor, somebody who really embodies what I fell in love with hip hop for, somebody that actually made me fall in love with hip hop, believe it or not. Iraqi Canadian artist, incredible guy, Narcy. Salam alaikum, my brother.
Salam, brother.
How you doing, man?
My pleasure. I'm feeling
Wallahi,
good, bro.
I thank you so much for your time,
Of
my
course,
man.
of
And I really
course.
appreciate you.
Always.
You ready to buckle up?
Let's do it.
Now is the time. We buckle up.
Oh, that's gonna crease my t-shirt.
How you doing, brother? You good?
I'm good, man. I'm jet lagged as a motherfucker, but you know, we here right now.
Yeah. We're here. We're in Dubai. You were born in Dubai.
I was born in Dubai.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I was born in Dubai. I was born in Garhoud.
Garhoud.
Garhoud up to no good.
Oof.
Yeah.
So 5 years later, you moved to obviously.
Yeah, I left here. I left here when I was 5, 1987, with my parents and my sister.
And yeah, you know, like basically, with your life, the way it has been for me as a kid who's living in Saudi Arabia at that point, one of the most conservative countries in the world. I was never even close to hear about, you know, the things that you guys were talking about. Not even close, you know, because that's the way it is. But you guys gave me hope. You gave me light. You gave me, and that's the way I am today because of your lyrics. So when you moved to Canada, can you tell me about like you growing up there and how has it been, like growing up and how it shaped you? You know, obviously you moved. Your parents were from Iraq. You're Iraq.
Yeah, I mean, I lived in Canada for 2 formative sections of my life, right? From 5 to 13, and then 18 to now. So, the first chunk of my life in Canada, I was 5 when I left here, so you know, I didn't really know what was going on here, but I got thrown into a brand new culture, a brand new language system, because you know Montreal is the French. It's in the French part of Canada, so I had to learn French, and I adapted very quickly. But at the same time, a couple of years after we got there, the Gulf War started. Yeah. So I quickly became aware of whether you want to call it race or culture. I quickly became aware of where I belong and where I don't belong. And it was a question that I started dealing with at a very young age. And then as soon as I started getting comfortable in Canada, you know, that I was, if you talk about what I was listening to whatever my older sister was bringing into the home. I was always like 6 months later than that, right? Yeah. So she'd bring in Nirvana and I'd be listening to Nirvana 6 months. I'd grab her old tapes, right? So I was heavy into like rock music and pop music. And then when I went to a school called FACE, which is Fine Arts Core Education, for a year in Montreal at the age of 13 for 7th grade, that's where I discovered hip hop. And my friend Yushua, who is in my Fetwa video, he's the guy that I'm with. Yeah, so my friend who's in the video with me, I met him at FACE and he shares a birthday with me. He's born on May 26th like me, he's Muslim. So we clicked right away. And then on that birthday, we both bought each other a CD. So he bought me Method Man's Tikal, and I bought him, I think it was Old Dirty Bastards 36 Chamber, something like that. I don't remember what the exchange was, but it was definitely Wu related, right? And I had heard NWA and Biggie, and Nawar's brother Nawaf alayhi rahma was going to New Jersey a lot and coming back and bringing these mixtapes. So I had heard hip hop, but like 3rd degree, like they would be playing Nas Illmatic at the basketball court near my house, but I didn't know what it was. So then then my dad came back from the Emirates and was like, listen, we're moving to Abu Dhabi. And I got sucked out of Canada. So when I got to Abu Dhabi for high school, music and hip hop became like this thing that kept me grounded in Canada, right?
Yeah.
So I started ordering CDs through this guy at Liwa Center in Abu Dhabi. He was this Irani guy that had a cousin in Canada that would bring CDs in illegally into the country.
Wow.
And he'd sell them in the shop. So yeah, that was my, formative years in Canada. And then going back when I was 17, 18, after finishing high school and going to university, I started political science, and then 9/11 happened 9 months later, right?
That was like...
Yeah, and that was like a punch in the face for all young Muslim Arab kids that were coming up in North America, because all of a sudden the lens changed on us, That was always present.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The perspective is different. Like, we living in the Arab region never really felt that.
Yeah.
You guys living there.
We felt it right away. Right away I felt it. Like I was working at a store at the time, and the day 9/11 happened, I was in Nawaf's room. I had slept over that night. We had already started recording music in the late 2000s, and then my dad called Nofy's house and was like, that's so we. I was like, Naim, ليش تتخابرني? He's like, turn on the TV.
Wow.
And then I turned on the TV, I saw what happened, and he's like, go home now. I was like, why you want me to go home? Like, what's that gonna do, But then the place I was working at, my boss went around telling people that me and my sister were running around the mall with head wraps on, praising what happened in New York. So immediately, like literally the next day after 9/11, we felt the environment had changed.
The impact.
So that shifted my whole narrative and my music, and the first Euphrates records were dealing with that, Stereotypes Incorporated.
Oh man.
So it was really dealing with that change in environment for us, and relearning who we are and where we stand in that position.
Do you think if 9/11 didn't happen that you would be different?
I don't know. I mean, because if 9/11 didn't happen, then I don't know if the Iraq War would have happened.
Right.
And I mean, it would have happened regardless. That was in their plan.
Yeah.
But I don't know how different it would have made my narrative or my music, right?
When did you start rapping?
I started rapping in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
At 15, 16.
Is there any funny kind of stories? Cause
we were on some thugged out shit in Abu Dhabi, man.
I remember Omar was saying some kind of, he was rapping on, some funny story. Is there
offend him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all of it, when you're young and impressionable, and I was listening to Mobb Deep and Big Pun, and we were listening, and Lauryn Hill and D'Angelo, we were listening to, there was so much music, but it was tangible, physical music, so you really got invested in these projects, right? Yeah. So when I first started rapping, and there was the internet was 256K, so what I was downloading actually...
LimeWire, was it?
No, it wasn't even. This is pre-LimeWire. There were loops on this one website where I used to go for release dates to give that guy at the CD store the dates of the albums that I wanted to get.
Wow.
So they had loops of Uptown Baby by Peter Guns, and then the Beat Nuts. It would just be and then...
You rapped on those?
So I would download those, put them on a tape, and then put in another tape and loop the loop until it was a 3-minute loop, and then I would put that tape in the front and then put a blank tape and plug a mic into my stereo, and we'd record our music that way.
What year was that?
This was 1996, 97? No, maybe 97, 98. So me and my boy Muhammad, we just, I would invite all my boys to my room, my house, and I would feature my boys on this record that we were recording. It was called Shifty Triznacks, and it was extremely thugged out. We were casually saying the N-word. It was we were young. We didn't really know what we were doing or saying. We didn't know the value of what we were doing.
Yeah.
But then when I got to Canada, it all kind of... I mean, before I left Abu Dhabi, because growing up in Abu Dhabi, you're not told to be political or have a political opinion.
Yeah.
So that's why I wasn't myself, because I wasn't able to even think at that level. But as soon as I got to Canada, I became politicized, and it changed it made me really who I am,
But that, wow.
And then as I delved deeper into music, it became more and more who I am. That's why my albums are getting more and more, less and less political and more like day-to-day music, you know?
There's one thing I want to learn from you. I didn't have the guts even Aslan to ask, but I think, and buckle up right now, and again, I've seen this from far away, Nofy.
Yeah.
Allah yarhamu. And I love him because you guys show love to him. Yani, I swear to God, those just goosebumps. The amount of, I never had the pleasure of meeting him, but the amount of love that always surfaces, you know, on his birthday, in the music, is just really incredible, man. Can you just tell me because he was like your best friend.
Yeah.
Can you, and I know it's just
he is my
emotional.
best friend.
He is your best friend.
Yeah.
How does that, yani, how did he impact, you know, you as a rapper, you know? Like,
well, look, you know, it was me, him, and Nawad, right?
Yeah. Shout out
Sandhill. Sandhill. So like, I was writing the lyrics. Nawad and Nawaf were making the beats together, but then Nawaf was also like the business and like the organization and the hustle, right?
Okay.
So when you see me, you see him, because when he passed, I took on a lot of the lessons that he was teaching me that I wasn't aware that he was teaching me at the time, right?
Wow.
Because when you're living with somebody in your life, you don't really think about the day-to-day, but then when they're gone, you really start thinking like everything was really written the way.
Man, good people go too soon, man.
Yeah,
like,
and he was a messenger for me. Like, we watched him grow up, and like I said, he introduced me to hip hop, right? So when he passed, I went back to school because number one, I wanted to walk down the hallways that I walked down with him. We were in university together. So I wanted to walk down the hallways that we were walking down together again. And then also, you know, my thesis was about hip hop and Arab identity. So I was asking myself, like, why was this guy in my life, and why did he bring hip hop to me and it became my life? Like, why? You know, that was really the question I was asking before I got into my thesis. And I mean, there's a lot. Like, there's a lot of things that happened in that last week that I was with him.
What can you share with us about Nofy that, like a cool, fun story?
Nofy always used to call me Abu Dhabi boy.
What, he used to call you Abu Dhabi?
Yeah.
Okay.
He used to make fun of me because I was like, I was the one that like, I wasn't grinding hard enough when we started.
Wow.
And Nawar,
he pushed you, Yanni, as well.
Yeah, Nawar is like, yo, I make the beats, I'm not coming to the interview. Right?
I love Nawar.
Yeah, Nawar.
I love you, man. I love you.
Yeah, Nawar is like, yeah, I'm not. He doesn't want to be in front of the camera, right? So Nofy would push me in front of the camera because he knows I can do it and I don't have an issue doing it. And he was with me in a couple of things, right? So,
wow.
Before the last time I saw him, I got booked for a show in Toronto. It was on November 2nd, 2004, which was the day of Bush's inauguration.
Whoa, you had a show.
I had a show that night. And at the venue...
That's a sign, my brother. I don't care what no one
Yeah,
says.
no, but that's what I'm saying. Kushi Maktub, man.
Yeah.
So I went to Nofy and I was like, listen, bro, I don't want to go to Toronto alone, right? And he was like, listen, I can't go. He had just gotten a new job. He was like, I can't go. You go. Go get the check, come back. You'll be good. So I got in the car with Hassan, who's his cousin, and we drove that day. Hassan.
Hassan is his name, cousins?
His cousin is Hassan. Yeah, shout out Hassan.
Wow, shout out Hassan.
Yeah,
My
Don
name
Dorma.
too, that's dope.
And the drive to Toronto was hell. It was snowing like crazy, and there was just trucks. I remember me and him being in the car and stressing, like, yo, this is the worst kind of situation we could be in. So when I got to Toronto, I called Nofy. I was like, yo, F you, man. Like, bro, like, you don't understand what I just went through. And I remember we had an argument about something in his room. I don't remember what it was, and I cried. I remember I cried before I left to Toronto.
Wow.
And then I got on stage, man, and I did my show. And while I was doing my show, George Bush got inaugurated, and they were like swearing him in or whatever. And then when I got off stage, Hassan was shook. And I was like, what's wrong? And then he was like, yo, we call Sundus, call back home. And I called home, and I left the next morning at 6 o'clock in the morning on the train, And then my parents came, and so
that,
it was...
That happened right after that show.
It was during my show, yeah.
SubhanAllah, wow.
So like,
man,
Yeah, you know, it's
thank you for sharing that with us. I know
yeah,
it's not
man.
easy, man, but again, I'm talking to you as a person who's been following you personally, guys, since 2007, I would say.
So,
and I see it.
Yeah, and Nofy became a part of all of us. Like, he taught Sundus things, he taught Nawar things, and he taught me things that became a part of our personality. He became a part of us. He never really, you know, he's still around for me every day when I hustle, when I do shows. Like, I feel him, you know?
SubhanAllah, man.
So yeah, man, God bless him.
Again, I never met him, and I SubhanAllah, may his soul rest in peace.
That makes me really happy to know that.
Yo, you don't
you've
understand.
had that
And
impact,
I'm like,
you know?
yeah, I know, because I see Omar talks about it. Nomadic talks about it.
Yeah, yeah.
They have a song
About him. Yeah, that was the last beat he gave them. Yeah.
Right. So like you got look like I feel like I don't never met, but I love him because you guys show love. I'm like, that guy is definitely, you know, an incredible dude.
Yeah,
so
for
thank you
life,
for sharing
man.
that with me. Yeah, for life, for sure. Yeah, wow. Do you feel like the way, wow, subhanAllah, the way you just said it right now, of course everything is maktub, but do you also think that you're giving a responsibility to, you know, impact people? Like, okay, I'm one of those people that you impacted, bro, and I've always said it. Anywhere I talk,
You've
whether
impacted
it's
me too, though, you know that.
I don't know how I did
It's
that.
been back. No, I mean, listen,
But you changed my trajectory, Narcy, Yassin. You changed. Hanan, my wife, knows that. I was a different kid.
Yeah.
And I got married in 2000 and obviously, you know, 10, and I 2000, and then I met you. I know of you in 2007. I was a different dude. My thinking was different. Yani, nothing, brother, man. I didn't know anything about Palestine, man, because they don't teach you that shit.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about Palestine until I got to Canada.
And they don't teach you the power of the word. That's why I'm very vocal. And I'll still be honest with you. Still people tell, Ya akhi, into the same 4 names. Khalas, ya akhi, okay, Narcy, Shadia, Ofen, okay, that's it. I'm like, but these guys shape who I am, and I meet a lot of people that also impacted, but obviously they have no platform. They're just, you know, normal guys that are doing the thing.
Yeah.
Does that mean something to you? They're really impacting people, changing their life.
Yeah, I mean, of course it means a lot to me because, like I said, you know, after I met you, and you told me that, and then you became a part of my story and like a part of the crew. You started impacting us in the region and like putting us on certain platforms, and so to know that my music reaches people is it's a blessing. That's what musicians do it for.
I mean, in places where music is considered even forbidden, man.
No, but even like my music going to Iraq and people hitting me up from Basra and like saying they're rapping now, and these things are
one of
you don't while you're doing it, you don't think about it, because if you do, it can be overwhelming and like pressure. But it's probably the most rewarding part of my life after my wife and kids. Like,
mashallah, you feel it, you know it.
Yeah, I definitely feel it, and like since the beginning, I've never sacrificed any of my morals or my ideals. I've never aligned myself with things I don't believe in. I've turned down a lot of opportunity and money because it clashes with what I believe in. Because I believe that in the long run, after losing somebody so important to me, I realized the value of every minute in your life, and that your legacy is the most important thing that you do in your life. You know what I'm saying? So I've always, I don't know what kind of legacy I'm building until it's done, yani, but I've always, like, every step of the way, I've thought, how can I level up what I'm doing and level up the representation, whether it be visual or whatever it is. So yeah, of course, man, it's a blessing.
Yeah, you just summed up. I'm having this Apple Talk next week. You just summed up my slide on you, because that's what I said about you. Seriously, I said this guy was able to. Yeah, I called it. Actually, you were able to find a loophole in this, hip hop Arabic thing, because when Arabic hip hop came through, bro, it's a matter of, it was just a matter of, people were like either too political. Okay, and this is why it didn't get to the masses, because the masses don't want to hear you that. Yeah. And from my experience, I know this because I deal with TVs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They said, هذا كتير سياسي. هذا لا الضارب, like he's too political.
Yeah.
So they know there's certain things they don't want the Arab people to hear.
Of course.
And you guys are saying it.
Of course.
So that's one. And
that's worldwide too. That's not just here.
Yeah, but there you can say things.
Yeah.
Whether it gets heard or not, it's
you can say it. Yeah.
But you can say it.
Yeah.
So the trick part over here, and you were able to, because the visual of it, like you have a certain كده كياسين, you have it. It's visually there, and that's I think very very creative from your end. صراحة to do it. This one.
Yo, speaking of which,
I gotta put
small
that hat
commercial break. Make sure you go get the Space Time exclusive limited vinyl available now at narcy.online. We ship worldwide.
I'll put the link down there as well for easy access.
Right here, yeah. Just hit that link. Yeah, listen.
Bro. Like this is incredible.
Listen,
man.
we'll get into this.
Yeah,
but
we're gonna get into that, but this is big up to you, man, and thank you for getting the
Of
vinyl.
course. I mean, listen, I think I see it like this. The metaphor for it is this. You know when you buy Tylenol for adults, it tastes like shit, right? But when you buy Tylenol for your kid, they flavor it and they make it sweet, right? But it serves the same purpose, right? So if I was to want to give people medicine or create medicine for my own trauma or whatever I'm talking about, Yani, I have to code it in a way where people are going to want to consume it, including kids. So, because there's a whole generation of Arab kids and Muslim kids that came up after us that have access to technology quicker than us, but also that are all creatives and they're rapping and making beats and shit. So we didn't have that when we started. We had the dudes in France, the tontons in France that were like deep in the hood, and we weren't deep in the hood like that, right?
Yeah.
So our experience was completely different. It's this diaspora experience. So from the beginning, luckily I had my sister in my corner who Hella was like making visuals, and she did my first video. She did Fatwa, right?
Fatwa, man.
So that Fatwa was the benchmark for the rest of my videos, because it was like, how do I present what I want to say politically or socially or whatever, but in a way that makes you uncomfortable, but it's funny.
Yeah.
Right? So the Dancing Guantanamo...
So Fatwa was the benchmark you were saying.
Yeah, because the Dancing Guantanamo men became like a thing that we fill in with different comedic devices in all my videos. If you think about all my videos after that, there's always something that's really funny.
Yes.
That's funny, but it's kind of fucked up at the same time, right? So like whether
not always though. Yassin was.
I mean, Yassin is funny, but Yassin is a message. Hella did the first Yassin, I did the second one. So like, even in Animal, where I'm a goat that has like a huge thing for a nose, like it's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable but laugh at the same time, because that's how injustice is. It's so fucked up that you almost want to laugh at how people can get away with this kind of shit.
When you guys did Fatwa, did you realize what you were about to put out, like, to the world?
I really didn't give a damn back then.
Nothing.
I didn't care. Like I was, I had the same shit, different Saddam t-shirts. We had Dancing Guantanamo men. We had the colonizers cutting the neck. We had the stripper on the oil tank, and like we touched on a lot of things. And I think that video, my sister was a groundbreaker with that, because she was the one that was always like, yo, push harder, like really push the envelope of what you're saying clearer and harder, right?
One of the things I love about you, and this is something I've also trying to do, is that you work with people that you obviously call family, and we are the medium. You're very, very big on that, and you just don't talk it. You're there.
That's Nofy, bro. The medium was Nofy. Like, he was... Back then, he was like, since 2003, we were talking about, we need to develop a collective. We need to, like, Sundus's best friend, Susu, started talking to Nofy before she met Sundus. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Nofy passed, all these people came into our life.
Oh, man.
It's really crazy, but like, so down the line is when I made it an actual company and like had a vision for it. So, yeah, I think it's important because look, nobody was willing to take the risk because we were Iraqis, we were Muslims, we were vocal, nobody was going to take that risk. When I met A&Rs or labels back then, early on after Euphrates, people didn't really get it. It was too early. We were way ahead of the narrative that was going on around us. Yeah. And number two, why not empower somebody that's in your family or like extended family that's also creative, and it's like, I don't need to reach out to anybody else. If you look at guys like J. Cole or whatever, they did the same thing. All their friends became their management and their team, right? So
yeah, you're right.
So yeah, you gotta empower the people around you. Like, why would I not put money in your pocket?
I see that
if I can, you know, and why would I be greedy if you need to eat too and you're my family? So as soon as I feed myself, it's time to share that food with the people around me. You know?
No, but I'm saying you don't only just think that, you really do it. And I've seen you do that, and I think it's truly amazing. And
Thank you, man. It's hard. It's definitely hard. It's definitely hard because at the same time you have to look out for yourself, and you know, I have kids and my wife, and but if I ever get big opportunities, it's always shared. And my father always warns me against it, and he says, you know, don't put your family on everything, like, because they're gonna make it difficult for you, yada yada. And he's right. There's moments where you don't. You got to be selective about where you fit people in, and that's an art on its own. You know, you want to do a buckle up with my dad one day?
I'd love to.
You should do it, man.
Man, listen,
my dad's hilarious.
There's this video online when you got him on stage.
Every
time I watch him, I cry. Every time, the way you shouted him out, and actually my boys Guido and Moody were in the crowd.
Of course,
And now Moody is in Empire, and subhanAllah. But they're in the crowd. Anyway, for the Jazz Fest.
Shout out Moody Jones, man.
Shout out Empire, Moody Jones, Ghazi. Wow, they're doing incredible. When you brought him out, man, how did that moment for you? Did you get emotional? You know, when he was out, like when you got him out, and he's such an incredible guy. Tahiyya leek, Amu Falah, an incredible guy. You can see it. First time I showed this clip to my wife, we both start crying, and she's like, I see where he gets.
Yeah, I mean, my dad is like, you know, Kanye says his grandpa's where he gets his confidence from. I got my confidence from my father.
Confidence from your father, but also inspiration from your grandfather.
Yeah, but like the education side of me is my mother, right?
SubhanAllah.
So like my mom is an educator. She's been an educator my whole life, and then my father is like this artist that's trapped in a corporate world, you know, and like it drives him crazy, and but he's really deep down inside, he's an artist. So I think he feeds off me as well, because I remember growing up, my father always wanted to be like an actor or a dancer, or like you know, but he hurt his back, and then he had kids, and back in the 80s, you have kids, you got to go work.
You can tell though, if you see him, you can tell.
Yeah, he's an artist. So I brought him on stage to fulfill a dream of his, not really mine.
Wow.
Because I was like, if I'm gonna be he used to take me to the Jazz Fest as a kid, like that festival, right, in Montreal. It's one of the most famous festivals in Montreal. So when I got the opportunity to rock the stage outside, my father was there because we were moving here that summer. He came to like wrap stuff up, and I was like, I had that song that's about my mother and my father. I was like, Baba, I'm gonna bring you up on stage. He's like, what do you want me to do? I was like, nothing, just come up on stage. I want people to see that you're my father, you know?
Wow.
And it was cool because I feel like he didn't want to leave stage. I was like, we good now, you can wrap it up, you know? And he was like, thank you. Yeah. He was like bowing and bowing. I was like, yalla, Baba, let's get, I gotta keep moving, I got 60 minutes.
Oh man, bless. Yeah,
man, my dad is hilarious.
Wow, like me, man, like this. You know, when I was watching the video, I can see the looks. I think Hella was there on stage.
Yeah, everybody was there. Sundus was there, Mariam was there.
And I can see Hella and Sundus looking. It was just the look that they had on their face was just.
Yeah, it was super emotional. I don't
watching it, man. Every time I watch it, every time I want to feel good, I have it.
I wasn't emotional on stage because I was on stage working, right?
Yeah.
But
afterwards,
definitely thinking about it afterwards. I mean, I cried when I left Montreal. It was funny because Guido and them, they all had like a sign like Narcy, my salam, and no one's ever done that for me before. So like.
Yeah.
It was very emotional, and then 9 months later I was back in Montreal. It was ridiculous. It was like this. My boys were like, "You did this whole rollout about you leaving town, but then you came right back. What is wrong with you?"
Yeah. As we're about to just film
need some gas, yo. Quick gas break.
Yeah. Quick gas break, and then we're gonna be right back.
You gonna cut?
Yeah.
So we're gonna cut. And we're back.
Oh man, perfect. Listen, man, the way you do things, there's always I'm not gonna. I don't want to use the word sell. But you're able to project whatever is inside you in a way that makes people like the product or whatever that you're pushing out. Is that something also that you learned throughout? The way you even talk about something, if you want to talk about anything, it comes from genuine. It comes out in a way that is.
No, it's because I'm kind of hard-headed when it comes to like sacrificing for money.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I do what I love in whatever format I do it in, and I'll make it work. Like, and if it doesn't work, I'll move on and do something else. I have a lot of ideas. Sundus calls me idea machine. So like I'm endless with the ideas.
Crazy ideas.
And if things don't work, I'll just move to the next idea until one of them pops, right? So like, but like the merch and stuff like that, I learned it from Amir. I blame the label. Amir.
Blame the label?
Yeah, that guy also changed my life. Like Amir changed my life. I met him around the time that I was doing Alhamdulillah.
Wow.
And we were just talking on the phone.
Okay.
And he got a couple of people in the video, you know, like Freeway, and he helped organize the.
Jay.
He basically Jay came through Laith Majali when they were in
Shout
Egypt.
out Laith as well. Wow.
But like Amir was like, I would say, the producer behind the video, right? Because my man's was shooting it, and in the States, Amr was his friend, and we became friends through that, and then he helped me get the not right look for the video when it premiered.
Oh, okay.
So Amir was like, he believed, you know, and we were having conversations about Amir managing me at the time, but then we became so close. Like we became like brothers, and we started exchanging ideas, and like we feed off each other a lot, you know, like I give him advice, he gives me advice, and it's more of a brotherly support. And like
you could just check out the Twitter between you guys to know like how amazing.
Yeah, I always shoot shout outs to Blame the Label.
Yeah,
because I believe that Blame the Label, not like
as a song, no?
Yeah, I did a song about it. I think I might be the only one that did a song called Blame the Label. But like I believe in the ethos of that. It's not really about a record label. It's about blame the label that they put on you. Don't ever succumb to what they want you to become. You know? So
wow.
So it became like a way of thinking for me. And then he always told me, he was like, yo, merch it up. Nobody like you is merching it up. And the Rockefeller thing came very naturally. And it blew up. You know? And then he gave Jay Electronica the sweater off his back. He gave Freddie Gibbs the sweater off his back. So I kept sending Amir sweaters and boxes, and he was just giving it to the right people.
Who's someone that wore Rockefeller without you, for example, giving it to them? Like you saw it, kid, someone sent it to you. Oh, he's wearing that, and they don't know maybe it belonged to a Narcy. Did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, none of the famous people that wore a Rockefeller knew who I was.
Oh, they just liked the shirt. Okay.
They liked the shirt.
Oh, wow.
So like Jay Electronica saw it and he was like, holy shit, I gotta wear that. Freddie Gibbs was the same.
Yeah.
They're Muslim, right?
Yeah.
So they both like gravitated towards it, but they haven't heard my music.
No.
Freddie Gibbs has never met me, right?
Yeah.
Who else has rocked it? Like Stretch Armstrong, like all these people.
Stretch Armstrong, when I saw him here in
he keeps
Dubai,
wearing it. I sent him new ones. So a Rockefeller was really like the and for me the importance of a Rockefeller was putting Iraq in a positive context where it's all my merch are conversation starters. That's how I function with merchandise. I think, what kind of conversation can I start with this piece?
The taxi one, the stickers.
The taxi one, the diaspora shirts, the Rockefeller shirts, Same Shit Different Saddam. That all started with Same Shit Different Saddam, which was a prop in the video. And then I started selling that t-shirt. So yeah, merchandise is very important for me.
So listen, this is the part where we either continue shooting or cut. Okay. One of the perks of knowing a guy like Narcy is knowing his producer, Sandhill.
Oh shit! You hit him up? You hit him up for some secrets? You did the Nardwar thing?
No.
Okay.
No. Shout out to Nardwar. You ever met Nardwar?
No, I gotta meet Nardwar.
Okay,
that's a bucket list thing for me.
Yeah, that's so. Anyway, one of the things, obviously, I asked him to send me some beats.
Okay, nice.
Okay, and he's like, "Oh, that's a great idea." I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm on to something here." Because when Nawad is excited, that means it's.
That means you did the right thing.
Alhamdulillah, yeah. So I was like, "That's a great idea," and he just sent it to me like 2-3 hours ago, just before this interview. So I want to play some beats. Apparently, these beats are not released yet.
Okay.
And I have a box here. I wanna
with words and shit.
No, with things.
Okay, cool. Give me the box.
Yeah, Azarel, just give
What's
us
in the box?
Yeah.
This segment is called "What's in the Box."
What's in the box? Yeah. So
Oh my God.
I'll give.
It's not a fucking box. It's a bag.
I know it's a bag.
Okay.
So whatever that comes out, okay. Yeah. So Isma, there's three. So I'll give you the benefit. There's victory and celebrate. If you know
I
the
haven't
name
heard
of it.
any of them.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
I may have heard "Celebrate." It sounds familiar, but
Okay. So I know you're good at this, and I know you like to do that, and I've seen you do it live. And the last beat that when we did, you did that, and I got a message from somebody that says that changed my life. What he did. He's a rapper, upcoming rapper.
Amazing.
He's like, that what he did changed my life. I want to build my whole life based on what he did.
that's amazing.
So I was like, okay, you know what? And I want to try to do
Let's
that.
do
So
it.
whatever you see there, I mean, that's the beat.
Which one did you play? All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Can I put it up or?
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, I'm the man. Chilling with my boy Hass, I'm a fan. Word up, buckle up, stance. Gotta clip it on him, spit it on him, flip it on him. Out of Santa, right here with a panda. Sipping on a Fanta, can't stand up. Man, people gotta stand up. Hurry up with my damn croissant. I'm the bomb when I rock on the mic. Word to my dad and mom. That's Falah and Nehla. Can't test me, man. Ehlan. Listen, World War III. That's the first record that I dropped with 17 tracks on it. Features Abru, 47 soul, man. Go get it. Damn, we so ill when we spit on the mic. CDs used to be dope. Now it's MP3. Too much OD. You can't see me. I rock on the mic like I'm in 3D. You can not touch my PP, that's out of control. You better stay at home and listen to the album and get a GoPro and put it in your whip and roll around and do a show like my man Hass. That's for real, man.
Oh
No
my
cuss.
God.
Who's this, Biggie or Jay-Z? Doesn't matter, you can't play me. See, we hip-hop to the bone and the cord till we flip-flop, till I break my hip. When I hop, sorry if I hit you with it. On my skateboard. Man, I hate y'all. Listen. The genie, you can't see me, believe me. Out in Montreal feeling Bellini with the word while I'm testing on a Hemi. And I told you before, it's like you're seeing me in 3D. Put your glasses on, take you motherfuckers back to the classes bomb. Yeah, come to the Concordia. I told you before, I am a board of ya. Whatever the fuck I gotta say, storing ya. It's a fidget spinner. I'm like a widget. Believe it, exquisite. My freestyle is like this, so I spit it. You can't see me or whatever. Fuck it, we spinning, sinning since the beginning. No ending. My freestyle is like my life is, like my wife is. Amazing. Raising 2 kids and they crazing. Amazing. Listen, it's a big hot stamp. Put it on my wrist like I'm at his club. It's all love. I'm not a thug, but I used to think I was when I was 13 with Mosby rocking in my room, rocking big jeans. Big me, you better rise like Grandizer, trying to size up cartoons like Adnan and Nina. Went to Joe Betty, we stayed dope with it. Seen us, call me Yassin or Narcy. The Neo Arab rebel called Yassin, like my man Mos Def used to be called or is called, babe. Hey. Is that enough? Like Canadians, I stay crazy. I'm Arabian. Put the goggles on, cause you drowning in my spit when I spit it.
Wow. Yo, I fucking love you.
Straight up, man.
Oh shit.
I was gonna say recyclable car
Yo,
bag,
you
but I don't know what that rhymes with.
Yo, I swear to God, guys, he does not know what's in the bag.
Yeah, man.
You know?
It's very easy, man.
لحظة. How? Seriously, how does
I mean, it wasn't great. It was good. It wasn't great.
What do you mean it wasn't great?
Yo,
Wow.
shout out the plug, man. I have a headphone in. Oh, there was ketchup in here,
Oh
man.
shit, yeah.
I'm a ketchup addict. This could have been great.
Oh man, I was trying to find a Nutella.
Oh,
What's
Nutella.
with Nutella, man. Like,
Nutella,
wait, I want to give you another beat.
Fruitella,
Fruit.
you know?
But what do you think of that beat?
Umbrella.
Umbrella.
Yo, now Waters beats are always fire, man.
Man,
regardless.
tell me about Sandhill. I did a cipher, Al Ghami cipher, and Deeb, who's an Egyptian rapper, obviously.
Hamid Al Deeb.
Hamid Deeb, and he said Sandhill in Arabic. What did he say? Tell Sandhill, tell Raml. He's like أنا الآن على أغنية من إنتاج تل رملي. So he shifted it from English to Arabic, which I thought was kind of nice. But Sandhill, man, what's Sandhill like?
Sandhill used to be Nawara Nawaf. Nawar's name was Habilis, and it was Nofy, Fanan, and Habilis were Sandhill.
Okay.
And then when Nofy passed, Nawar took a break for a couple of years, and then when he came back, we had a conversation, and I was like, yo, you gotta stay Sandhill, like, you know, keep the legacy going, like. So that's really what it is, and I think, you know, I don't know if this is what he thinks or why they chose the name, but obviously it has to do with where we're from, but also, like, every grain of sand is different. You stack them up on top of each other, you could climb a mountain, you know, so like, it's a very, very iconic name for who he is, and I think, to me, Nawar is the best Arab hip hop producer out there. Like, there's
I call him the spear.
There's
Sam,
no test. Like, he's the first person that I know that, besides like Timbo and them, that flipped Arabi samples the way that they did.
Yes.
You know, and they set a certain standard of bangingness, and like Nawar is known for his drums specifically, right?
Yeah.
And he's very meticulous, and like the way he is in real life, he's really organized and meticulous, and his music is the same.
Does he push you in his own way? Because, you know, and Sandhill is a bit like, you know, he keeps himself as but does he push you in his own way to get on certain beats, مثلا?
No, I think with me and Nawar, you know, I've known Nawar since I was 8.
So automatic.
I've known him for, next year I would have known him for 30 years, right? And so we came up listening to the same stuff. So, for example, if we talk about the process of World War III, it was like Nawar was just playing me beats and I was picking and writing to them. And the process was very like fluid that way. I wouldn't get in the way of his production, and he wouldn't get in the way of my writing. But
has it been always like that?
No, I mean, with Euphrates, it was like every beat they were making was like, oh shit, it's the new shit, because they had just started making beats, so I was just recording to everything. But then obviously they start collaborating with other people, so but I get dibs because I hear the beat first. So if I have his illest beats because I hear them first, right? But then when I started getting more involved in production myself, and executive producing my projects and like mixing stuff for people, so with Space Time, for example, I worked on it for a chunk of time, and then I stepped away, and then I rented a studio for a month and a half, and the only songs we had at that point was Animal, Multiply, which was from the Chobe Bryant sessions that we had, which created Chobe Bryant and all that, the singles that I put out, and then I had a song with Psycho Aleppo that didn't make the record. So in that span of that month and a half, I recorded 12 other songs. So it was a song every 2 days. But I'll give you the example of Yemenade. Thanks Joey, I did a song with Thanks Joey called Promised Land, which was from the first sessions. And while I was mixing it, I was having trouble like placing it in the album. I felt like it wasn't working in the context of the record, but I was still mixing it, and I muted everything and kept the drums, and that played, right? And I was like, I just want to rap to that shit. So Nawar came in an hour later. Nawar used to come at like 4 p.m. and I was there from like 9 a.m. or whatever. And I was like, yo, Nawar, take these drums and take this. I had recorded a bunch of shit with this choir of 4 girls, like, you know, things fathers do for money. Yes, you better not sip that Yemenade. A bunch of different things that they said that were from my lyrics. No wonder no one will sign you. Those are all from things that I said on songs, but I made them sing it in a choir way. So I gave Nawar the drums from Thanks Joey. And I gave him Mariam and the girls singing You Better Not Sip That Yemenade. And I was like, yo, just flip it like this for me. He went home. I went home. He went home. And I sleep early, he sleeps late. So when I woke up, I checked my inbox and he had sent me the beat. So our process has become way more collaborative in that way. Like he listens to me and I listen to him. Sometimes I'll change a verse because he'd be like, that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you need to rewrite that verse, you know?
Have you ever been in a situation where you're faced with somebody that doesn't appreciate your art?
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Many people don't appreciate my art. Like
how do you deal with that?
I have a very niche fan base. Like I have a very like only recently have people been
Okay.
online, and people who cover my stuff have been calling it alternative rap, and I never really knew that's how I was viewed. But I guess it makes sense because I don't follow trends.
Yeah.
And the things that I say are not necessarily. I think you went into construction.
I think so. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that.
No other cars here.
Are we about to get arrested right now? Is that what's
No, I don't think so.
going on?
Does it fit here?
I think you could.
You could, بس دير بالك يعني.
Hopefully, like, there's an exit.
But yeah, that's dope.
Like,
It's tricky.
Yeah, you're good. It's open over there. No, there's cones over there, bro.
Yeah. It's all good, don't worry. Yeah, we're making a U-turn. Okay. But when someone says that to you, how do you, like, do you try to مثلا convert them or something like that?
No.
Because I never really see you do, and you're not that.
I'm not trying, bro. I'm not trying. I'm just trying to, I make art to make art. And, I obviously actively work with my fan base or the people that listen to my stuff.
I get it, yeah.
But I also struggle with that part of the game because I'm alone. Like, I do everything on my own. I do everything on my own.
You do.
Yeah. I edit my music videos.
You do.
I haven't edited all of them, but, like, I'm very heavily involved in every step of the process to a fault at times where it affects my energy, right? So, no, I don't try to like convert people to the school of Narcy or whatever. I just
one of the first shout outs I heard, like, for you, someone giving you a shout out was Nas. He was on a phone.
Yeah.
How'd you get that shout out?
So I was working for this magazine called The Mirror in Montreal, and I was interviewing people. I was just like, I want to start interviewing people. I get bored really quickly, so I want to do different things.
Okay.
So I interviewed Chuck D, I interviewed Brother Ali, I interviewed Nas, and I got to interview Nas.
Yeah.
And I had an amazing conversation with him.
On the phone, was it?
On the phone, and he was eating carrots while we were talking. It was really funny. Nas was like eating carrots while we were talking. And Nas is like in my top 5. Nas is one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's probably, like number 2. Or number 1, I don't know, But it was a surreal moment for me. So I was like, yo, Nas, I'm an MC,
That was after the interview was done?
Yeah, okay. I was like, do you mind if you give me a drop? I'm working on a mixtape right now. And he was like, what's the name of the mixtape? I said, Stuck Between a Rock and a Hard Place. And he was like, yo, that's hard. He was like, yeah, hell yeah, I got you. And then he was like, what's your name? I was like, The Narcissist, He was like, you're now tuned into The Narcissist, Stuck Between a Rock and a Hard Place.
Did you believe? Like, did you make sure that's recorded when that happens? Because
yeah, I mean, I did it. I recorded it into my computer right away.
Yeah.
And that was that was like a year after Nofy passed. And I was... Nawada wasn't making music.
Yeah.
And
that was one of the first shout-outs I heard. Like,
yeah, and I was making that mixtape, so I was like, and the intro to that mixtape was a Nas song. It was, I redid Thief's theme, right?
Yeah.
So it fit perfectly.
There's a discussion in the past month.
I met Nas once, very randomly in Montreal at a club. And I was wearing
Nas once?
And I was wearing a pink dishdasha, because I was with Mos. I was with Yassin, and we did Oshiaga, and Nas was performing at Oshiaga, and I know Green Lantern, his DJ, so I ended up on the side of the stage, and Yassin went up with Nas to do Thief's theme.
Wow.
Like a remix of Thief's theme.
Really?
Yeah. So it was really serendipitous, and then that night I went to the club, and Yassin was supposed to show up, and he didn't show up. And Nas was there, and it was just me and Nas in the VIP section. And Nas was drunk, and I was wearing a pink dishdasha, and he was looking at me like, why the fuck is this guy? Like, he didn't even talk to me.
Yeah.
I remember
I know that look.
He looked at me, and I was like, like, what up, Nas, And then he was like, and he took 2 steps away from me. Like, he was kind of like, who is this fucking guy, man?
I know that look.
Yeah.
Yo, listen, for the past 2-3 weeks, there's a discussion. Top rappers of all time, Shout out Ebru. Like, what does Ebru mean to you, bro? Seriously.
Ebru, like, it's funny, when I met Ebru, he's like, damn. Carly, who works closely with Ebru.
Shout out Carly Hussle.
Shout out Carly Hussle, man. She's the greatest.
Thank you for introducing me to a lot of amazing people.
Yo, Carly Hussle is incredible.
Carly is, wow.
She's one of my favorite people. But yeah, Ebru is like the older me, man. I don't know how to explain it. Like, obviously, mashallah, he's way more experienced than me, and like he's in another realm of of popularity and,
No, but
and of
I like the
influence.
fact. I like the fact that he's direct but polite in a way. I don't know how
Yeah,
to say
no,
that.
he's
Like,
real.
yeah, he's
What
real.
I like about Ebru is he didn't sacrifice his opinions.
Yeah.
And then he's also a bit trolling. He's a bit like he makes fun of, like,
Yes.
he'll test you just to test you, right? So when I met him, and
How was the conversation like when you got?
it was amazing. It was like, it was long. I talked to him for a good hour, and like
Yeah.
obviously they didn't use all of it,
Yeah.
but we lost track of time in a sense. And,
He was
and,
rocking the Rockefeller.
No.
that hat,
I
was
gave
it?
him Diaspora. He rocked the Space Time dress.
That's Space Time, yeah.
But like, when we met him, Carly was like, "Yo, you guys got to be related or some shit." It's because we're both like shaved head. We have beards that are salt and pepper beards, and like he's light skinned. I'm kind of, you know.
Yeah.
So like we think the same too.
Yes.
So yeah, I look up to Ebru, man. He's a great dude, and they've supported me so much. Like,
Yeah.
it's helped me a lot. You know.
Yeah.
Just to get optics on my music and to have his support means a lot. You know?
We're talking about support. How is it like in Canada? Because we in the Arab region over here, we look there, we think, oh wow, it's great. But I know it's difficult as well. It's not like, you know.
Yeah, listen, the internet is a lie, bro. The internet is like the Dajjal. Like, it'll tell you the truth, but it's lying to you. In the sense that, like, the you might see me on Ebru, but
Yeah.
that's just the beginning of the work. Like,
Yes.
Ebru did his work. He alley-ooped me
Yeah.
by doing that show, but then I have to continue it.
Yeah.
Right? And I've been blessed in the sense that, like, my music reaches certain people, and my music, people listen to my music and I don't know that they do. Like,
Yes.
you know, like people that I watch, like whether they be on television or actors or whatever, like, and they've reached out to me and placed me in their content. So it's been like a very natural progression for me.
Yeah.
I've had and I've always focused on longevity. I don't want a quick injection. For
Yeah.
me, it's been slow pace on purpose, you know, to make it grow. And that also makes people want to support you more, I think.
When I first came here 3 years and a half ago, there was a lot of people, obviously, they look up to you, especially I'm talking from UAE. How do you see it right now coming back? Like, I'm not talking about like naming artists or whatever, but how do you see, obviously with the age of the internet now, everyone is dropping music, how do you see it as a guy from outside, you know? Does it impress you? Do you think that there's a scene,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a creative scene here, right? So like whether you're talking about Moha and Chindi, or you're talking about
Yeah.
you're talking about what you're doing, or you're talking about like Mo Flow and his brother in Harmony and all those guys, and you know, they might not all like be working together, but I think there's finally a scene that's developing here that's organic. And I think that creative environment is the first organic thing to come out of the place, you know.
Yeah. And they're connected, I think. Like
they're connected
work with,
because they go out with each
they're
other.
also connected with big time campaigns. Like Chindi did
Yeah,
this. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
They know.
I think Moha and Chindi for me are
They're incredible.
they're incredible, man. They're like Tom and Jerry, you know. But like they're always chasing this thing, but at the same time they're not.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
they naturally grew this community around them that they influenced very much, and I think that what they did was beautiful because they used what I use and I don't really talk about is the power of projection and belief. Like sometimes I have an idea, most of the time my ideas take 3 years to manifest. So
Okay.
when you see something that I've done, I thought about it 3 years ago.
Oof.
Right? That's usually what it is for me. Sometimes it takes 5, but like the same with them. I think there's a beautiful scene here, and musically, there's a lot of great people that are coming out of here. I think it needs work,
Yeah.
and it needs support and an infrastructure. But I grew up in a city where there was no infrastructure for what I was doing. I had to do it myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What scares you, man?
What scares me?
Yeah.
I'm scared of heights.
Heights.
Yeah. Turbulence scares the shit out of me. Losing control, right? Like anything happen to any member of my family, la samhallah, like anybody in my extended family, and like things that are out of my control. Like I'm a control freak in the sense that that's why I do everything. But I think I have to get over that because my kids are gonna get older and eventually I'm gonna lose control.
Yeah. Do you think that the fact that you, mashallah, have a beautiful family, beautiful kids, that's impacted your rap in a way? Like,
yeah. It's impacted everything I do. Because I think about what my son and daughter are gonna think when they see my shit. I don't care about anybody else's opinion.
Yeah.
When my kids are gonna be teenagers and they look back at my work, what do they think? Because I didn't have that. So like, if I got to do it properly, and obviously I've made mistakes in public, and some of my work didn't do very well or whatever, but I think about the impact of what I do on children now. Not necessarily like I make it clean for kids.
Son, for me, when you sing it, you have a monologue before and after it. You say something, so it's very, very emotional.
When I perform it,
yeah.
I mean, that was the first song that I did for my child, right? And he's on it.
He's on it.
And that song traveled the furthest. Like, same with Alhamdulillah, it traveled the furthest because the intention is bigger than the music. And when you do that, when you put God in your work, whether it's direct or indirect, it always goes the furthest, man. Subhanallah, bro. It's out of... And someone else said that. Kendrick said that once in an interview too. And when I thought about it, I was like, damn, he's right. Like, if you go in, whether you look at it as like God or the universe, or when you go in with that being your like intention, it always travels bigger. It always travels the longest.
This is one of the things I learned from you. I remember watching an interview way back, and you said intention is everything. Obviously, we have that,
Yeah.
But when I heard a guy that saying it was kind of different.
Yeah, I mean, and I forget that sometimes. We all do, right?
Yeah, we all do.
We all get caught up in like, why
Big
not?
time.
And but what I'm trying to exercise now more than anything is like, I'm where I'm supposed to be. And if I want it to keep going, I gotta put in a good intention around it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's it.
I just don't know where I am. I want to make a U-turn to get you back.
Yo, Sinus always tells me, man, it's so dangerous, man. Big Hass is always in his car on the phone. Like, you gotta tell him to stop.
I got this because of that. Because people said, like,
you gotta be safe, bro.
Head northeast on Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road, E311.
You and Amar offender, man. Amar always be doing
I saw you.
Crazy verse raps in the whip. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Stop rapping and driving, man.
Yeah.
Like, you want to rap at the crib, bro.
Isma, who are your top 5?
Top 5 all time?
Yeah. I don't like that discussion, but I just want to, like, the top, not a narrative on tertib or whatever, but who impacted you? Top 5.
I mean, Black Thought.
Thank you.
Lauryn Hill. Yassin.
Nice.
Like Mos and Kweli, I put them as together because to me they came to me together. Andre 3000.
Nice. That's how you know it's a rapper.
I always forget the fifth one for some reason.
Well, Nas is right up there, Like
I said Nas, I didn't say Nas.
No.
Nas is my 5th one, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nas for forever, bro.
Yeah.
When Nas said, I smoke so much la, I see the dead bird flying through a broken sky, I was like, khalas, man. Thank you very much, I quit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nas is the illest. Yeah, and I love Jay-Z, and there's so many more people that have influenced me. I don't think 5 is enough.
Yeah, I agree.
And those aren't in order.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Because they all had
5.
a different
I know you liked 5. Rest in peace.
Who?
5 Dog.
Yeah, 5, of course.
Like you why did you appreciate him, for example? Why did you connect with him in what was it? Because I know that when he passed away, you know.
No, I think with a lot of times when artists pass away young, it reminds me of Nofy, man.
Yeah.
And I feel it. Like when Nipsey got killed, and I had watched Nipsey and listened to Nipsey from his mixtape days till Victory Lap, because at the same time as I was grinding and doing my thing, obviously he was living a whole alternate reality to what I was living, and Crenshaw and Slauson and all that. But I watched his journey, and he did what we all didn't do. He grew and became a legend while he was alive, and still impacted his community more than anything. And then to see the way he got killed, it just broke my fucking spirit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
until this day, like once a month, I sit down and I watch Nipsey interviews, and I just like, you can ask Sundus, I'll stay up till 3 a.m. and just watch interviews of him, because I feel like I knew him. Like his hustle and acumen was like Nofy's, and like I see myself in him, I see my friends in him, and yeah, he got taken away. So like, yeah, all these artists all the artists that impact me that passed away, really, it impacts me more because of what I've been through, you know.
Yeah. As a professor, when you're teaching that course, by the way, one of my dreams. I want
to have you in that class one day.
It's one of my dreams to attend. You know, I really want to.
Inshallah, I come to Canada, bro. Beti betek, bro.
Wallahi,
I'll interview you for once, fuck.
Yo,
no, for sure I will. Of course I will.
But how is the How is the students? How is the class like? Is it like? Tell us more about that.
My class is like this supreme drop of classes at Concordia. As soon as they drop my class, it fills up. I have 200 students, and then I always get the yo, can you get me in? Like, I'll be walking in the street in Montreal, people be like,
no way,
yo, I want to take your class, but it's full. I'm like, bro, it's not school right now, don't talk to me about class. But it's a blessing, alhamdulillah.
But that's amazing, right?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, bro. It's the
when did you start that? What, a couple of years?
5 years ago. This will be my 6th. Like, when I finish this year, it'll be my 6th year.
6th year.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Like, that's the biggest blessing in my life, you know. I think, like, I'm not supposed to be there in a way. I am, but I'm not supposed to be there.
I understand.
You know,
when you
like,
say that.
just like I broke into the music industry. I broke into the university.
What was the biggest misconception you're able to somehow break when you were there, if any? Like, in terms of somebody, because these are like, you know, people that might not know your music, might not know anything about Arabia.
My students don't really listen to my music.
Yeah, that's something else I noticed.
And I don't push my music on them. Like, I tell them I'm a musician. I go by the name Narcy. You could check out my work online. I'll show them a music video during the class 1, but that's it. And then I'll assign my book for certain semesters, right? Like because it's an example of an album breakdown, or like, it just gives them a guideline. But I never push my work on my students.
I think this is
which I probably should, because then 5 years times 400, that's 2,000 extra people that could be copying my record, right?
Yeah.
But I just feel a bit of a conflict of interest, and like, I'd rather they discover it, like they get to know me and then they discover my work. So a lot of them became listeners to my work after they took my class and finished it.
So we're mid of August 2019. You're here, obviously in the UAE, heading back. What can we expect, like, in the next 6 months? I know you planned for 3 years, but what is it that we?
I don't plan for 3 years.
No,
I mean, I project.
You project, sorry, not plan. Yeah. What can we see for the next, like, until the end of the year?
I'm gonna drop a couple singles in the next couple months, and I'm working on a project right now with Thanks Joey.
Nice.
Just to, like, flip up the vibe of my work a bit, and I have a great working relationship with Joey, and it's a different vibe than working with Nawar, and I'll still work with Nawar. Obviously, he's the reason I do what I do.
Yes.
But like, me and Joey developed like a working relationship that's really powerful and quick.
Yeah.
Joey is like me,
but
as a producer. Like, he's a hustler. He has vision. He doesn't stop. He doesn't take no for an answer. Like, he takes no, but he uses it as fuel. So I'm working on that. I'm hoping to get a couple of director gigs with some artists that I really like and look up to.
Belly.
Yeah, there's a couple of artists that I want to work with.
I want that song, bro.
Artists from our community, but there's a lot of guys and girls that I'm talking to right now that are musical artists that happen to be Arab, but that's really not all end all be all for me. I want to do R&B videos, man.
Ooh,
yeah,
really? Thank you.
And then I want to act. I want to do some acting shit.
Yeah. Thank you for introducing me to people like Carly Hustle, Snow Allegra. Man,
yeah,
that latest album.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Snow Allegra's crazy.
What makes her very special? Look, what is it?
I don't know. I've been listening to Snow since since she dropped that joint with the RZA ages ago.
Wow.
I think it was called Emotional. And I appreciate the progression, and she's one of those artists that I always felt like, yo, and people say this to me all the time. They're like, yo, you should really be bigger than you are.
Yeah.
And it annoys me when people say that to me. I'm like, fuck you. What is that? You know, like, I get it, But thank you for the compliment. But
I think
also,
they mean
like,
good though. But yeah.
but no, but as an artist, it's very frustrating to hear at times because you're like, then what's what am I doing wrong then?
Yeah.
And obviously we're artists, so we're sensitive about our shit. But with Snow, I always felt that way about her too. And I support artists. Like for me, it's not more than. Like I tried to get her on the last record on Spacetime. She was like, I had sent her Only You, to be on the hook of Only You, but it didn't work out, and we've been following each other. But I don't really know her, Yanni. I'm not gonna front like I know her. Yeah. I've met her once.
Okay.
When I took my class to her show in Montreal.
Nice.
To go see her show.
Yeah.
But I support her, man, because she's from our community. I know that as a woman on its own, being a woman in the music industry is not an easy feat. Yeah. And then number two, I've seen that she's had ups and downs, and she's spoken about it, and I relate to that. So yeah, I support her, and her new project is the one. Like she's gonna blow up, bro. That's it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's done.
صح.
Yeah.
Spacetime. If you can tell me one song that you think did not get the hype, or one song that people didn't really, one song that you were hoping it will, get there, but it didn't. Which one would it be?
On the record?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it. If I gotta be honest.
Really?
Animal did really well on like streaming and stuff like that. But the video didn't do very well. Because the video was weird.
No. I love the video you're talking about.
But the video was weird. Like to my fans, that video was weird. Like if you know my work and then you see that video, you're like, what the fuck is this guy?
But that's evolution.
Yeah, but it's weird for people that don't get it. A lot of my videos are like they're like unpacking shit that I'm dealing with, right? So with Animal, I was dealing with the pressure of finishing a project and then having to push it, and not really like I wanted to quit at one point. Because I was feeling disappointed, and I didn't have any more energy.
Yeah.
So the character in that video is that part of my personality. Yes. It's not me, but he's that rapper that thinks he's the shit, and he's disappointed that nobody else does. Yeah.
I think that's.
I mean, you know me, so it's pretty straightforward. But fans that don't know me personally won't get it. They're like, why is he a fucking donkey? Why does he look like why does he look like a goat? Right?
Because maybe he's the goat.
He's a goatar.
Arab via goatar.
I'm very happy with how the album's doing. It's serving its purpose, and it's growing, and like it's very organic, and I don't have a machine behind me, so there's no way of plugging it. Yeah. But the music is getting to people, and I think the song that I did with Yasmin, which is like 7 minutes long or whatever, but that's like, I think that'll be appreciated later, because it's
in space.
Yeah, because she's very niche, and like people know her. She's a legend in our community, but people don't know her as much as they should.
No.
And then even with Mashrour Leila, it's the same. It's like I was the first hip hop artist to collaborate with them.
Yeah.
And they were super open with me, and like they're great brothers. They became brothers of mine, and like they helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Sonically. Right?
They're incredible.
Yeah, so I'm grateful. This album was like a benchmark for me. It was like, this is what I'm gonna do. But I think it might be my last album as an album. Everything.
I was gonna ask you that.
Everything else I'm gonna drop a bit differently than like a record.
You see it like an EP single.
Yeah, like EP singles, maybe just a video, like a meme. Like I'm just gonna be like really. I'm gonna challenge the way I put out music.
I don't think I'd ever asked you that, but do you listen to Arabic rap? Like Arabic rap?
No, I don't listen to Arabic rap. I'll be completely honest with you.
Like Rab al-Arabi? Nothing?
Like I'll listen to it. Yeah. I'm not gonna ignore it.
Yeah.
But I don't listen to it. Like I don't actively listen to it. If I don't even listen to hip-hop that often anymore. I listen to R&B music, bro. I listen to a lot of R&B music. Like every Tuesday or Wednesday, I wake Sundus and the kids up listening to Usher. Like blasting Usher at the crib. I'm not who I used to be. I'm soft now. But like I love Arabic hip hop because it's where I started.
Yeah.
But also I evolved from it.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Arab rappers look at me as an Arab rapper. You feel me?
There is a lot of discussions, and I tell you that like because it's very diverse, man. Like with you guys,
Yeah, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Because you're like in touch with both
Yes.
worlds.
Yeah.
What is my reputation
Yeah.
in the Arab world?
إنه هو تاركنا يعني. Yeah.
Wow.
But
I was
but that's
never
why-
here though.
But that's one. No. Two is that I think, in my opinion, this is why when you dropped like a Narcy, which is in Arabic, it felt to me personally, أنا كحسان, when you were talking, I kept sending that. But this is also another discussion I have. Like, you don't need to rap in Arabic to be Arab. There's no,
Yeah.
صاروا people are messing up with your Arab hood, if you want to talk about it,
Yeah.
which is a big problem. I'm like, yeah, but this dude is representing Arabia in any way, in way more than what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
And I keep sending examples and stuff like that. So, but again, because it's very crazy, man. Like, you got the diaspora people, you got the North Africa where Arabic rap initially started,
Yeah,
and you got the Levant, which they think political, and then you got the GCC, which is like commercializing now Khaliji hip hop.
Yeah.
So it's so whoa.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Man.
Divide and conquer, man. That's how they got us.
Yeah. See, even in music.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's fair for people to feel that way because I'm,
No, but don't get me wrong. I know that some of the biggest names in Arab rap, like the huge biggest names. And for me, Anna personally, I do think that Bu Kulthum is right up there. Ed Abbas,
Yeah.
Muslim, he's a rapper from Morocco.
Yeah.
These guys look up to you
That's crazy.
because what you're able to do and how you're able to do it. But I think the question here is that I don't think they think you're part of the whole process because you don't perform in Arabic. You don't do Arabic. That's it.
I mean, look, Narcy was a response to that. Narcy was like the end of a certain narrative in my music.
Yeah.
That's why the last song on it is called Nihaya.
Yeah.
Because it was like, F you guys. I put in all this work
Yes.
in the first 5, 6, 7 years of my life, talking about where we're from and what's happening in the world.
Yeah.
And then I came out to Lebanon and I did a show and the guy was like, "Ahki Arabi."
Yeah.
And I was like,
remember
okay, طيزك أحسن, here, boom. And I hit him with like an Arabic freestyle and then I was like, oh shit, I can do it. So then
Yeah.
I went home and I recorded it, right?
that.
Um,
Yeah.
but I also don't believe in boxes, bro.
Yes, labels and boxes.
As soon as you put a label on me, I rip the label up.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of person I am in real life outside of music.
Fine.
As soon as you assume one thing of me, I go left,
Yeah.
right? And I do that to challenge myself to always grow.
So if I assume that you could do one more rap, now would you go left again? Or
Yeah, I'm not rapping no more. That was a freestyle. Next one's gonna be a cost style.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I'm kidding, yeah.
Like,
I get you, yeah.
so if people feel that way about me, that's all good to me. I understand where the sentiment comes from.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't owe you anything. I don't owe anyone anything. I do my work. I don't carry flags, man. I carry nations, you know? Like, I don't ever wave a flag. I'm Iraqi, but I never wave the Iraqi flag. I live in Canada. I never wave a Canadian flag. I don't represent a country. I represent humanity.
Yeah.
And like, I've had a lot of people try to battle me, and I'm like, bro, I don't battle human beings. You want to
Battle.
battle me? I'll battle you. But I don't battle human beings. I battle ideals and ideas in the world that are negative and unjust. That's my battle. So that's my purpose. You know what I mean? So yeah, man.
I love this guy. Your social media handle to the people right here.
You can look me up on IG as Narcy Nars. On Instagram is Narcy Nars. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
On Twitter, it's The Narcissist, which is very badly spelled. You can also look up Elon Musk and you'll find me because it's space time. And fuck Facebook. Don't go follow me on Facebook. Facebook, the feds, man. I don't use my Facebook. I don't believe in Facebook. I left Facebook years ago.
You're not on Facebook anymore, no?
Personally,
No,
no.
not personally. I know you were there.
I have the Narcy page, but I don't even use it.
Yeah.
I don't like Facebook, bro. They're the feds, bro.
Love, brother, man. Thank you so much for your time. I can't believe we did this. What an incredible freestyle that was. What an amazing conversation.
And all you
Thank
people in Dubai who don't see the value in this guy and what he does, I'm talking about companies and brands and all that shit, you better wake the fuck up and realize that Hass is one of the most tapped in people and that you need him. And it's time. It's that time. Yalla habibi, man.
Habibi, my brother.
I gotta
man.
pee so bad, bro. I'll see.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I'm kidding.
Peace
I'm
and love.
kidding.
Assalamu alaikum, guys.
Yo, tune in next week. Yo, you know who you should have on the show?
Yeah.
Either my father or my sister.
Are they here? Can you
My
hook it up?
father's in town, but you should have my sister on the show, man. She's really interesting.
Can you hook it up
and
with
she'll
your
probably
dad?
diss me, which is great.
Can you hook it up with your dad?
Yeah, for sure.
Wallah.
Yeah.
خلاص, let's do it.
Yeah, my dad will do it عادي.
Okay. تكلم يعني we
I
talk
mean,
art
you
and-
figure out what you
yeah.
want to talk to him about. Talk to him about his career. He has a very interesting career.
I'd love to have him on.
And if you want somebody to come on and really like tell you the truth about who I am, have my sister on the
That's
show.
definitely happening. Shout out to her, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out Big Hass, man. One love.
Peace and love, guys.
Buckle out.